Hey guys, welcome to another episode here at CrossFit Garage. We are focusing on building a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finances. Of course, mostly we talk about fitness and then some food and a little bit of finances. And the reason why is if you're going to be healthy and fit and live for a long time, you better have some money to do that with. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard life no matter what you do. Or on the other side, if you have all this money, but you die early, well, that stinks. So we want you guys to be able to be healthy and fit now, as well as in your 90s, and live that good life. Levi always says I should introduce myself a little bit better. So I am Andy McCann, your host. I am the owner of CrossFit Garage. I also am a landlord with some rental properties here in Woodstock, Georgia. A family of four, or a father of four, with 2 in college and 2 in high school. I am a small-time chicken farmer. And I spend a lot of time trying to keep since our chicken's free range, I spend a lot of time trying to keep the coyotes and hawks away, which I'm not very good at. I'm also recently that guy with a truck. So if you need stuff lifted or moved, I'm that guy for you. My goal in all of this is to help you guys become the hero of your own journey. So one day you won't be here at the gym, or maybe those that are just listening and aren't at the gym, you're going to come in and then go, you're going to move or whatever. And hopefully the lessons you have learned here will create habits to carry you on until your 90s, or maybe by then we're going to be living into our hundreds, who knows. So we talked about in the last couple times, goals, vision, and habits. You need a vision, you need to cast it out there. Then you need the actions or the steps that you need to do to get you there, and then piece it apart with some goals. And you can listen to some other videos or podcasts I did on that. But I think the thing that trumps everything is a habit. If you can make things habitual, then it's going to happen automatically. So one thing we've been talking about at the gym is, how do I get more of you guys in here more often? And what is a reasonable number, right? So we used to sell memberships that were 1 day a week, 2 day a week memberships. I made good money on that, but I was helping nobody. It was just basically keeping people sore and tired, and the coaches irritated because they weren't coming enough to remember what they were doing, and the people were sore and tired and irritated. So it wasn't really working good for anybody, except for the gym made some good money on it. So I actually intentionally canceled all of those type of memberships so that we could actually help people, rather than just sort of say, yeah, I go to a CrossFit gym. Yeah, no, 1 day a week, no, it's just going to hurt. 3 days a week is a good start. I think if you can do this 3 days a week, or if that's a goal, that's a good one. But your real goal should be 4 days a week. And if you can get to 4 days a week, that's great. And if you can put your rest in there appropriately, then I would start aiming for 5 days a week. And 5 days a week is pretty much it. If I could do it with wave a magic wand and make it perfect, it would be something like come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, take off Thursday, and then come in Friday, Saturday. But I mean, I can't make that work, and I own the place. I try to come in 5 days a week. It's on my calendar every day, 7:30 a.m. Of course, that's usually during the school year, but 7:30 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. And then I shuffle that around as time gets in my way or life gets in my way. Okay, so why do this? Why are we here? This is really for you members, or I guess it could be for people who are thinking, should I do CrossFit? So why do we do this? The real answer is we want to be harder to kill. So will CrossFit make you super bulky and big and people go, dang, he's huge? The answer is no. In order to get big, you need to use hypertrophy. And hypertrophy is the old guy thing that we used to, not the old guys thing, but it's a thing we used to do basically in the 80s up until now, where it was back by on Monday, chest and tri on Tuesday, and legs on Wednesday. You would do one kind of muscle group and then give it 2 days of rest. So hypertrophy is I'm going to build my muscle bigger, and the strength. So this is a weird thing. You ever seen somebody who is skinny strong? So they're skinny, but then they can lift a lot. Like we had a real good friend that did the CrossFit Games and started their own gym. So Sean Provost, I think he's probably like maybe 6 feet tall, but I think he weighed at the time like 150 pounds, and he could deadlift 500 pounds. So I weigh more than him. I'm shorter than him. So the distance should be easier, and he could pull 500 pounds, no problem. I could not, I still can't. I got up to 400 and then I broke myself. Don't chase that number. But there are people out there that are skinny strong. So strength doesn't necessarily have to be big. If you want big, I want to be huge, I want to be large, really you need to eat a lot of protein and you need to lift with hypertrophy. That is not really what we do here. So if that is your goal, then we can help like aim you towards that. Like a good example is Aaron. He says, hey, I'm tall and I'm skinny. What do I need to do to be bigger? Well, first is you need to eat more. He's like, great. I worked with Laura. I realized how much I don't eat. I need to eat more. Perfect. And then I told him, I said, you really need to do some hypertrophy, not what we're doing here. So you should do something different. He said, I hear you and I appreciate that, but I don't want to lose the community and the drive that we have here. I'm like, okay, great. So then we need to edit your goals. So what he does now, like the other day, we had a light deadlift. It was like 155 for guys. I think he bumped it up to 225. He did less reps, but he did a heavier weight, and then he did less burpees. So he spent more time lifting heavy weight. I'm like, yeah, you can totally do that. So now he has what we would call a strength-biased CrossFit. Totally. You can definitely do that. Now, the problem is we had to move with some intensity. Intensity will build muscle. It's going to build lean muscle, and it's going to make that muscle like tight on you. Of course, he's also burning calories, and so he needs to eat even more. So having a lot of muscles builds a lot of metabolism. Anyway, so if I could do it perfectly, I come in 5 days a week and I take off the weekends. But usually there's a day in there that I miss because something. So I plan for 5 days a week, knowing that life is going to shoot my plan. What does Mike Tyson say? No plan survives getting punched in the face. So, or everyone has a plan until you're punched in the face. Anyway, so have a plan. I have it set up every day. 7:30 is my time, or 8:30. I would go for 4 days a week. That would be I think the penultimate goal. That is like going to move the needle a lot and give you some rest time. So I was talking to Tim today. He said, you should really tell people to pick their rest day and make sure they know what it is. So for me, I know it's the weekend. I don't do anything on the weekend. And if you ask any of the coaches, they're like, yeah, he didn't even coach on the weekends. I'm like, that's right. I have to have non-business days and non-activity days. Now, I have an adventure race coming up on the 15th. I'm recording this on July 10th. And it'll come out probably July 18th. So I have an adventure race coming up on the 15th. So it's kind of a weird time. I'm in a flex capaciting DeLorean, and time is shifting around me. But I worked out today. Danny threw down the gauntlet and said, I think most people will finish between 8 and 15 minutes. I said, fine, I'm going to do 7:59. And I finished a little before 7:59. So I went pretty hard, knowing that Tuesday I'm going to go easy. Wednesday, I'm probably just going to come in and move. And Thursday and Friday, I'm not coming in at all because I have this adventure race. It's a 12-hour adventure race up in Ocoee, Tennessee. So I need to prepare myself. Rest is key. Now, on top of rest is stretching and rolling. If you guys come into the gym, you do your thing and you walk out the door, you're missing a huge component of that, which is you need to stretch and you need to roll out. If you're not doing that, you're missing an opportunity to help for your longevity. I'm going to pause this while I drink some tea. And it is herbal tea, not caffeine tea. So I'm still off of caffeine. So it's been 2 weeks and a day, 2 weeks and 2 days, still caffeine free. Okay. So why should you be doing this CrossFit? What will it get for you? It'll literally make you harder to kill. We're going to help you create a hedge against sickness by moving you from just well into fit. It's also giving you the opportunity to say, I can do anything that I want. If somebody says, hey, you want to go climb Stone Mountain? You're like, yes, let's do it. Let me grab a bottle of water. Let's go. You want to climb Blood Mountain? Sure, let's do it. Okay. So you have to know the days you want to come in. 3 days is great. 4 days is greater, and 5 days would be greatest, as long as you know where your rest is coming from. Then comes in this topic of what about volume versus intensity? And I still fight this, and I've been doing this gym for 15 years. So volume versus intensity. I do like this CrossFit affiliate programming. It's helping shave out some of the volume. We've had some years of programming where it was literally, if you don't know what you're doing, then we're not coaching you. It's just, you walk into the gym, here's a whiteboard, brief in 5 minutes, and go. And there's like 55 minutes of working out. That is not CrossFit. It was a competitor style, and we were not competitors. So it was somebody that was trying to push us into their idea of what CrossFit could look like. And for the vast majority of us, it is not that. So what I mean by volume versus intensity is today's workout, for me, it was 8 minutes long. And if you say, well, I don't think that's enough. Dude, I am about to go run an adventure race for 12 hours, and I worked out for 8 minutes with intensity. I've been doing this for 15 years. Yes, I have no problem jumping into a race. I am telling you guys, CrossFit works. The methodology works. You do not have to do volume. So tomorrow, I think it's back squats with a Metcon. I'm pretty sure if I go and I should pause this and go, look, actually, let me do that. Yeah, I looked. So tomorrow we're adding back squats into the workout, and the actual workout is something else. But From years of doing this, yes, we know we need to please the audience. The audience says we would like to lift heavy stuff and we would like to do more things. We're like, okay, we can totally do that. But I'm telling you, volume is not the answer. Intensity is the answer. CrossFit knows that the independent variable that has the most adaptation towards health and fitness is intensity. So we're trying to replicate the idea of a sprinter rather than the ideas of a bodybuilder or a marathon runner. So a sprinter is going to incorporate both of those. Okay. Anyway, so tomorrow, I know I'm moving into a lighter cycle, so I will do the back squat just for range of motion. And then the workout, I'm of course going to slack on because, like I said, I've got this adventure race coming up. Nevertheless, there is an argument between volume and intensity, and CrossFit says intensity with less volume. And you guys some of you holdouts are like, Andy, we must do a 1 rep max deadlift. And then on top of that, do 5 minutes of killer cardio on the bike. The actual answer is no. Now, if that's what you want to do, great, do it. But I would love to challenge any of you that feel that way to say, okay, do it my way for a month and let's do a test and then a retest and let's see how it goes. You're going to see that intensity is king. Intensity wins. This is why CrossFit works. So it's not volume, it is intensity. So reduce the volume of things you do and instead add in rolling and stretching. So, be smart about your body. Now listen to yourself, and that's going to change dramatically based on who you are. So if I ask Levi, can you do all this? He's going to say, yeah, sure. And I'll bounce back. If you ask me, I'm going to be like, no, this kind of is too much. Let me be smart and calibrate what I'm doing. And you can totally do that. Coming in and doing what we do for 8 minutes is enough to move the needle dramatically. I mean, I'm almost 50. If you ask Coach Jamie, she says that I've been saying I'm 50 for the last 10 years, which is probably true. But at 50, I can do a lot of cool things, and it's just because I follow the programming with intensity, and I have intentional rest, and I use intentional rolling out. So I encourage you guys, man, do this. Some of you guys do. Most of us just walk out the door. I would think it'd be more important to roll and stretch, and I would probably shave. Let's say you're doing a 20-minute workout, and well, my time's a little bit short. I got to cut out maybe early, or when I get done, I got to roll. I got to get out, right? So I would say, fine, cut the workout off by 5 minutes and then spend 5 minutes rolling. I would just do the 15 minutes with more intensity. Okay. So, Paul coined a good term. He says he does gentleman's CrossFit. I love that. And that's how I feel. I'm like, I am doing what I'm supposed to do. And some days I'm just move days. Other days I'm push days, right? And I do pick and choose, right? So sometimes if I love the workout, yeah, let's do it. Let's throw it down. If I hate the workout, I'm like, all right, I'm going to throw it down and let's see what happens. But I'm always paying attention to myself. So my knees kind of messed up. I don't do box jumps and I don't do double unders unless it's the open. I'll do it because we're, grading ourselves. Okay. So I already talked a little bit about this. What about getting bigger? I'm a dude and I want to be big. Yeah, that's hypertrophy. So yes, we will be building muscle, and yes, you will be able to see it. And yes, it is the definition and definable, but hypertrophy is something totally different, right? So Mark Ripito and his starting strength, all on hypertrophy. So if you look at hypertrophy and see what they do, you'll see it's totally different than what we do. And so it's a mindset change. It's just, that's just a different way to gain some results that are different than what we want. So CrossFit wants all around general health and fitness. So if somebody says, let's go jog a marathon, you're like, I'm in. If somebody says, come help me move this mulch, I'm in, right? So it's going to make you a better human. It's going to make you harder to kill. They know that intensity, if you look at, just Google it, CrossFit intensity, what does it do for my health factors? Or ask your doctor, go in there and say, hey, take my blood, let me do CrossFit for a year, and then let's see what's different, right? Do it. I mean, I challenge you. It's great. I love the meeting I had with Yancy. She drew my blood. She's like, I can't wait to do the results because I know what you eat and I know what you do. And then when I got there, she's like, this is the most boring blood I have ever seen. I'm like, thank you. I like that. Now my testosterone could have been more, but I'm a small guy and I did small sports like wrestling. So that was probably something that was just genetically going to happen for me. All right. So I'm doing CrossFit. Why do I do CrossFit? Hey, have a good sticky why. If you're just coming in just because, then it doesn't really help. Something else that I've been doing is I've taken over our goal reviews. So when your goal review comes up, I'm going to let you know, hey, it's coming me thinking. But what I have turned to is I am starting a Google Doc just for you and your goals. So I'm asking people, give me 3 goals about fitness and 1 goal outside of the world of fitness or health and fitness. And I'm helping you walk through those. Now, You may think, Andy, how can you possibly help me? Well, for the most part, I'm older than you and I've been doing this for longer, so I probably have some insight. I can help you. And in life, I'm probably older than most of you and I can give you some insight. Sometimes it's just the beauty of it's not you coming up with the solutions. So someone may, like, you may lay out your problem and then, you know what? I'll link that It's Not the Nail. There's a video. This is perfect. There's a video on YouTube. It's called It's Not the Nail. And man, I hate to blow it. It's so awesome to watch. But anyway, she has got a nail in the middle of her forehead. And she's like, I don't understand what's wrong. I have this splitting headache. All of my sweaters are getting snagged. And the guy's like, it's the nail, right? So sometimes when it's not you, the problem is easy to see because it's not you. And they can look at it with fresh eyes. So that's what I'm offering to help people. It's not rocket science. It's setting goals. Been doing this for years, but sometimes it's helpful to have somebody go beside you. And that's what we're offering. So whatever your goals are, we're here to work you through that. And if your goal is like, I want to run a marathon, yes, we can help you. I want to do a Spartan race. Yep, we can help you. I want to be harder to kill. Yeah, we can help you. CrossFit is a hedge against sickness. So if you think about the biomarkers that we're moving, let's just take an easy one. Let's do blood pressure and your heartbeats per minute. They would say something like 70 beats per minute or 70, 75, somewhere in there is a good, healthy range. So you're well. But if you are exercising, you're going to move that down and your beats may be 60 and that's fit. So when you get sick and your heart is working harder, it's going to move up, but you're still in the well category, even though you're sick. Now, you go to the sick side, it's going to go either way up or way down, right? Obviously, way down is a problem, can be a problem just as much as way up, especially if it's, so way down that it's zero. Okay, so the next thing is, what if you're just trying to get your abilities back? I think that's great. I tell people all the time, feebleness is chasing us down. We do this to keep old man time off our back and to keep feebleness away. What does that actually mean? All right, so as an example, I think when we started doing CrossFit, they're like, hey, can you climb a rope? Like, sure, yeah, I can climb it. What about, can you climb it legless? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Tim Nickerson, an old coach of mine, used to have a great coaching tip, which is, Andy, why don't you just grip harder? I'm like, okay, great, thanks. And so to get up the rope, I did grip harder and I made it up the rope with no legs. So 8 years goes by. Someone says, can you do that again? I said, sure. 8 more years go by, or 7 or whatever. And they said, hey, can you still do that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm almost 50. I'm a little nervous to climb the rope without any legs, but I did. So I have skills and abilities that I'm getting back or in this case, keeping, because, feebleness wants to take all those away from you. What am I really after? I want to be able to run adventure races. I want to be able to take my kids on these races. I want to be able to go skiing with my wife. I want to not be a burden on any of our trips. Hey, let's go scuba diving. Great. Well, I guess I need to get certified, but yes, let's do it. This equipment is heavy. No problem. Let me carry it for you. We have a guy with a truck and I can lift, right? So I bring my kids along. We just moved some furniture for one of my wife's friends. And yeah, we're fit enough to lift it. And I have a truck to do it. So yes, I want to be helpful. Let's go do that. So we do CrossFit to be harder, as Nick Lubber says, I want to be harder to kill. And I added in easier to love. I don't know how that works yet, but we want to be more fit. We want to gain things back. We want to propel our bodies, have a PR here and there, right? Okay. This one is an unfortunate one. Yes, CrossFit, we do not necessarily pick on your nutrition, but if you look at the pyramid that CrossFit puts out, the pyramid of health and fitness, nutrition is the base. I think below that would be rest. And maybe I'll do one of these podcasts on sleep. I think I've done one before, but if not, I'll do it again. Or maybe I should just do it again on how to get a good night's sleep. But anyway, nutrition is a base layer. I'm going to give you some simple things you can do that are simple in practice, but maybe hard on execution, to help promote just eating better. So a buddy of mine, Cam, just started doing CrossFit, and I met his coach at a CrossFit owners meetup, and she said, yeah, the next step for him is to get him to let me adjust his food. Now his nutrition. He's been a longtime friend of mine since we were 14, and he laughed. I told him that she wants to adjust his food, and he laughed. He said, no way. This is one reason I CrossFit. I can eat whatever I want. I'm like, that's not necessarily true, but I see what you're saying. So I do want to help adjust some of your eating. You can still eat whatever you want, but here's what I would say. Don't eat at a place that has a drive-through. If you are going to eat at that place that has a drive-through, go inside. Make it hard for yourself. Don't make it easy. Drive-through is easy entertainment. It's not even food. If you're going to eat at Starbucks or get your coffee with the double pumps of whatever, go inside. Don't make it easy. Make going to these places harder because they're not good for you. Unless you're probably drinking like straight black coffee, all of the stuff we're getting is not great for the inputs, right? Your body is a machine, an organic machine, and you want to fuel it correctly. So one is don't eat at a place that has a drive-through. If it does have a drive-through and you want to eat there anyway, go inside. The next is drink a glass of water before every meal. And you may be a water snob like me. We have a whole house filter because we're on well water. And so our water is pretty good. We actually have a Berkey that filters it again. So I don't know why we do this. It's just, I guess, habit from years past. So we will fill that Berkey up. So now we have like double filtered water. Yeah, I know. It's weird. And I don't like drinking water when I go to other places. So sometimes I'll bring my own bottle of water. Now to fix that, I'll maybe squirt a little bit of lemon in there or whatever. But drink a glass of water before every meal. That's just a great helpful thing. Your body is mostly water. Add to your water content. Make sure you're peeing. The other one would be a simple one is stop eating after 8 p.m. or give yourself a 2-hour window before you go to bed that you're not eating anymore. A lot of the bad stuff we eat is late at night. And if you just put up that window, that guardrail of, I'm just not going to eat at 8 o'clock. Great. So I had a conversation with my daughter. She said, I went to camp and we were doing my counseling thing. We always ate dinner at 7 o'clock. So basically 7:30, I was done eating and I'm just going to continue that. I'm like, hey, that is awesome. Is that going to be easy for you to maintain while you're in college? She's like, yeah, probably not. I said, okay, well, maintain that while you can, but let's pick something easy. What time do you go to bed? She's like, 10. I'm like, perfect. Do you think you could stop eating by 9 p.m.? She's like, yeah. I'm like, great. When you get back to school, start with that. Start with easy. If 9 p.m. works, then drop it to 9:45. The next week, drop it to 9:30. The next week, drop, right? So 15 minutes every week until you get to a place that's a little bit hard. So you want your goals to push on you a little bit. And this food habit is a big one. Okay, that's enough on food. So it is important that you edit the way you eat. Otherwise, you will be the fit guy that doesn't necessarily look all that fit because we're still eating poorly. So who said it? I think, well, maybe my sister, I don't know who said this, but they're like, Andy, how do I get my abs? I said, they're already there. You just need to change the way you eat. So our muscles, especially our abdominal muscles, are sitting there waiting to be shown off, but it is true. We need to adjust the way we eat. Now, my recommendation on that is to do it slowly. So I would rather see someone lose 1 pound in a month and maintain that over 5 years than lose 10 pounds in 1 month, because usually the 10 pounds in 1 month is unsustainable. But if you can make a habit change that it just moves the needle a teeny bit, then you can perpetuate that habit and maybe one more habit and then maybe another habit later on. So we want to do things that last. Okay, but going back to CrossFit, our goal is to help you become the hero of your own health and fitness journey. We want to be happy, humble, helpful people who are healthy and fit now as well in our 90s. What does that mean? What is your picture of why you're here? Do I have an event that I want to do? Do I have a race that I want to get to? Do I have family that I want to look good for? Do I have long-term goals of being a very active grandfather or great-grandfather, right? So put that goal in place. See yourself way out there. What does it mean to you? I would recommend 3 days a week. That's why we do the committed board is 3 days a week. My next step, the better recommendation is get in here 4 days a week. So if you had to do Monday, Tuesday, take Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, that would be a great opportunity for moving hard, learning, and getting proper rest in there. If you can use Saturday, that's awesome. If not, throw Monday back in there. It's been working for me. I've been doing this for 15 years. I basically work out Monday through Friday, and it's all good. I also have adjusted as I have gotten older and gotten wiser. I understand that there can be catastrophic failure at the edges of ability. So when we're doing 1 rep maxes, there's an opportunity to mess up. And so I shy away from 1 rep maxes because it's just a showcase. So this is what I can do. It's good to know, but a 1 rep max doesn't build nearly as much as doing like a 3x5 or a 3x3. So having more time under tension is better. So actually I think I've told this to a lot of you guys, but an ideal one on the lifting, let's say we're doing back squats, you're doing 5 sets of 3. You got to your last set and you've added other weight and you do 1, you do 2 and you're struggling, you can't get the third up and you bail. That's actually perfect. So you're putting as much time under tension as you possibly could, and you're hitting your maximum, and you know what it is. So now you can, when you write the number in, you write, I did a, one set of 2, perfect, whatever. And you can write that number in, and it's exactly what it is. So when then we do percent workouts, you can see those percents very easily, that they are really real and not just, I'm on my way. Now, if you're brand new, let's say within the first year, your numbers will change a lot just simply because you're learning better form. All right. So I do have a class that's coming up. It's in the email. I forgot what it is right now. I think it's the end of August, and I'm going to focus on, the squat clean and helping you guys, pull with your, the 3 extensions. So your ankles, knees, and hips, and shoulders, or 4, I guess. And then, also your, elbows are straight, and then diving under the ball. So the big thing is arms are straight, and I'm going to pull myself under the bar. And what does that look like, and how does that work? So that's going to be coming up in the end of August. It should be on the email that I'm about to put out. So if you want to do it, I'm going to limit to 7 people. If you're a member, it's free. If you're an old member, alumni, then it is 50. If you're like brand new and you've never done this with us, or not brand new, you need to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, don't come to this. You need to know what a squat clean is. If you're not sure, this isn't for you. We're just jumping straight in. You'll use the 9 a.m. class to warm up, and then we're just going to just jump right in and hammer this thing. And we're going to, I need you to bring a video camera or cell phone, so you can video yourself, so that we can go back and look, and you can go back and look in your rests. You can really visualize what's going on and see yourself, not just rely on me. Okay, guys, CrossFit will get you there. CrossFit is a methodology for getting back your health and fitness. I promise you, if you do 3 to 4 days a week and you go for a year, you will be healthier and fitter than you were before. All right, guys, if you need any help, always contact me here, Andy@CrossFitGarage.com. You can go to our website and click the no sweat appointment, and you can come talk to Coach Jamie about getting in here. Any of our members, if you ever need me, you've got my cell phone. See you guys soon.